The wind and stars have guided seafarers for millennia. And now it's your turn to discover their magic on Windstar's iconic Wind class and luxurious all-suite Star Plus class yachts. Revel in the nautical traditions of the sea as white sails unfurl, pulling you towards hidden lagoons and untouched beaches on our Wind class. Or rejoice in the newly transformed Star Plus class with 277 square foot minimum suites that promise a constellation of comforts and amenities beyond your wildest dreams. No matter which yacht you choose, you'll jump directly off the water sports platform at the back of the ship and can join your captain for navigation lessons on the open bridge. Customize your experience with all-inclusive or cruise-only fares. Come, the wind and stars are waiting. Wherever you want to go, Windstar knows the way.
Was that I really love Windstar because it's that small ship cruise, but you also get that really luxury food. Like, I don't like cheap food when I'm on vacation. I'm not a foodie, but man, like, I don't want to taste anything that's like nasty, salty, or over. I want it real, I really want something special if I'm going to pay that kind of money. And it's not insanely expensive. In fact, when I tell you the prices at the end, the entry level prices, like it's really ridiculously cheap for what you're getting. I think you'll see it's a no-brainer. Also, just to keep in mind that it's this crew mentality. I mean, you're gonna like this if you like that kind of thing where the bartender, like you did on the Love Boat, like you thought it would be, where people are joking with you and the staff is like really engaging. And that's the kind of service I always liked, even though I worked on bigger ships for the most part. I really liked that real service that was like old style cruising where you felt special and I could make guests feel special. So that's what Windstar is to me. I also just really, love Melissa, by the way. Melissa is, she's a friend now, but she's been with me the whole time trying to sell me a Windstar. But I haven't had a chance to make it happen. So I met her and she's done a really great job educating me before we even went out and did them. But she's been with the company 7 years and she is not a salesperson. She's just a really good person and she really loves Windstar. And that really resonates with me. It's not about the sales. It's not about the quick thing. In fact, she was at Joel's 50th birthday party, to give you any indication. I did not invite every BDM. I invited 2 and she was one of them. So she's in trusted hands. The thing about going with a group, although just also super fun to have a couple other couples to hang with, the other thing about going with a group that I really like is that, you get a 10% discount. And that's why I chose these. So you get up to 10% off just by being with the group. Plus likely a cocktail party. If we have like 5 couples, we'll get a cocktail party included where we get to kind of take over the space and a few other little amenities that are really fun. And that's why I chose the cruises we chose. I am going to hand it over to Miss Melissa Nissenson from Windstar Cruises. I'm so excited to have you and I'll mute myself. Take it away. You can share your screen if you'd like to.
Awesome. I sure will. Hi, everybody. How are you? Good to see you. Wish we were all together on a beautiful Windstar yacht having this presentation. Wouldn't that be fun? Maybe one day. So I'm Melissa Nessenson. I'm a regional sales manager at Windstar Cruises, and I reside in the beautiful Treasure Coast of Florida in the Tradition area of Port St. Lucie. And I am not just a Windstar employee. I guess you could say a Windstar fanatic. And even so much so today, because I just got off a Windstar cruise on Saturday. I did our Around Iceland cruise, 7 days, circumnavigating the beautiful island of Iceland. It was incredible. I'd never experienced anything quite like it. The landscapes, the cultures, just really amazing, amazing. The history, and of course on a Windstar yacht. What a great way to see the world. Well, we're definitely getting a lot of new to brand clients, post-pandemic, because I think people are realizing there's better ways to travel than crowded resorts and crowded hotels and crowded cruise ships. And, people are just feeling like they want to see the world and they don't want to do it with crowds of other people. They want to arrive more like a yachty on beautiful large yachts. And Windstar has been doing this for about over 35 years, showing you a world that's, as we say, 180 degrees from ordinary. So, we may be talking about some of the regions of the world you may have visited before. Perhaps, there are places that you love and you feel like you want to go back to, or maybe it's bucket list places you've always dreamed of. So no matter if you've been there and just want to see it in a different perspective, or if it's brand new to you, if you haven't seen the world in private yacht style, you haven't seen it like this. It really is very, very special. So as you can see, we have two styles of ships. We have our beautiful Wind class yachts and our all suite Star Plus class yachts. What you don't see in that picture, we don't have any sailboats. Okay. So as far as any of you that are going, oh, is that a sailboat? Am I gonna, feel motion sickness? No, these are beautiful cruise ships with state-of-the-art stabilizers, and they're just phenomenal. So I just wanted to throw that out there because some folks see those sails and wonder about that. That's a question that comes up. So I'm going to stop my camera because I'm feeling like my presentation is lagging a little bit. I'm trying to go to slide 2 and it's not working out. So let me try this again. Sorry, Shelby. There we go. Now that I disabled the camera, I guess my bandwidth might be a little slow. So Windstar is part of the Xanterra Travel Collection. If some of you have been to the National Parks of the West, then you might already recognize Xanterra. They've been around actually as a business over 150 years in the United States with travel and hospitality. You might remember the name Fred Harvey. He was the pioneer of travel and tourism in the United States and tourism. So our owner owns not only Windstar, but the Grand Canyon Railway and Hotel, and a lot of different experiences throughout the National Parks of the West and different lodges and hotels. So we're rails, trails, and sails. That's what we like to say. So today's Windstar is a brand that's really not for tourists, and it really is for travelers. And there is definitely a difference. We're going into places that are truly authentic, and and we like to say no one else goes so far to take travelers so close. We have curated itineraries that really are designed to, take you into hidden harbors that only yachts like ours can visit, and really maximize the time in port. We like to say we're taking travelers in a different direction. So we look to see where other small ships are going, and we try to avoid them. And we try to go to places where we're the only ship in town, even if it is a port that other ships can reach. We like to be the only one. So it's really a very exclusive experience in most cases. And you don't feel rushed. And we have really nice small group shore excursions. Those are totally optional. They're not included in the price of the cruise because there's everything from like $79 to probably over $900 a person. And believe me, they sell out each and every time. So different type of experiences depending on your interests and your budget. And so, you don't feel like you have to do an excursion because there's plenty to do on your own. But really, I would recommend taking a look at our hand curated excursions because they're off the beaten path and really, truly unique. So our personalized, very immersive approach to destination exploration, it's going to bring you closer to the cultures and the locals of each of the ports and really captivating places. Our ships have a shallow draft, which means is you can go into places that other small ships might not be able to reach. So it really is very, very special. And we like to say we're not just another cruise line. We're really, a way of seeing the world. We're just a total travel experience. We feel the best way to see the world is by large yacht, or if you want to consider it a small cruise ship, that's good too. Because, it's just so easy. You don't have to worry about finding your luxury accommodations in the regions that you're visiting. Many places of the world don't really have luxury accommodations. So when you're traveling on a Windstar yacht, you are traveling in style. You don't have to worry about the hassles of unpacking and packing and moving and just different logistics issues. So, it's going to be really, really easy. And you're going to also get to know the locals because we do incorporate locals into a lot of our shore experiences, very small intimate groups, 5, 10, 15 people, which is kind of unheard of these days with the big mega ships. You're on a short excursion of sometimes 100 people on giant motor coaches. And in this case, it's very intimate, and you really get to know the places you're visiting. And we do have enrichment on board. Many times we'll bring those locals on board the yacht, which is very thrilling for them as well as us. And they really love to share their cultures, their cuisines, and really show you a way to really learn about their history and cultures. And in select destinations, we also do our destination discovery event. This is a complimentary event, usually an evening under the stars in some amazing place. This image is ancient Ephesus, the ruins of the Celsus Library. We do that on all of our Greek Isles cruises, and this is just really, really very special. And it's a complimentary private event. You walk through the marble path to get to this beautiful site, and the servers from the yacht and the chefs from the yacht come ashore, and they just really show you a great time. So that's just an example of one of the ways that we can give you that cultural immersion on board and offshore. On the ship itself, I mean, the ships are great. They're not too big and they're not too small. Our ships hold less than 350 guests, and it's really out of the ordinary. It's 180 degrees from ordinary. It's the amenities of a small cruise ship: a spa, fitness center, entertainment, great dining options, beautiful accommodations, but yet the intimacy and the personal experience of a large yacht. So it's almost as if our crew have a preference sheet on each and every one of our guests, because they kind of know what you want before you even know it. It is just phenomenal. And you're probably not going to find bingo or trivia or that kind of thing. This is not that type of cruise. This is about, cruising and seeing the world and having bottles of wine with your new friends you've just met on the ship, and really just engaging in great conversations and friendships, not only with the fellow passengers, but also the crew, who really are some of the sweetest and most sincere people in the world. I think, all cruise lines are great, but, our crew really set Windstar apart. And you do feel like you're part of you kind of feel like you're on a friend's private yacht rather than on just a quote cruise ship. It's really phenomenal. Very relaxed. You never have to reserve a deck chair because you'll always have plenty of outdoor space on board Windstar ships. And all 6 of our beautiful ships have a water sports platform. Isn't that cool? So depending on where we are around the world, when we drop that anchor, weather dependent, we can go ahead and launch the paddle boards and the windsurfing and all kinds of fun flotation devices and the the little ocean kayaks, and everyone can get a custom fit snorkel mask and fins and snorkel gear that you could take ashore. Also, that's yours for the whole trip. It's sanitized for you every night, put in a bag with your name on it, so you don't have to get refit every day. Come on up to the bridge, meet the captain and the staff captains. They're usually out up. The bridge is usually open till about 10:30 at night. If it's a clear night, you can go out and go stargazing. They love to show you the stars and show you some of the navigational equipment that they have used since ancient days. It's really, really cool. There's charting and navigational courses complimentary at the bridge. On Windstar yachts, you're traveling in understated luxury, so it's not fancy schmancy. It's very casually elegant and relaxed. You are on a private yacht style vacation, so you want to dress yacht club casual or country club casual. Fun is always on the menu. This is a really fun and outgoing and fun and relaxing experience. If you're romantic and you want your in-suite dining, with coursed meals, 5-star dining, you can actually request that complimentary. And it's a beautiful menu like we have in our main dining room, which is a 5-star restaurant called Amphora. So that's always fun. So a Windstar experience, delightfully different. We hold between 148 and 342 guests, depending on which of our 6 ships. I can tell you that you do more than soak up the local flavor. You'll definitely have it for dinner. We are the official cruise line of the James Beard Culinary Foundation. If you're a foodie, you already know what that means. If you like to watch the Food Network or the Cooking Channel and those type of things, you'll recognize some of these A-lister chefs that have their signature recipes on the Windstar menus. So you could select from amazing items that are hand curated by A-lister celebrity chefs. And if you're a foodie and you like green markets and farms and things like that, just stop at the reception desk, ask what day the chefs are going ashore to the market, and they'd love to have you join them. You can be part of that fun experience, helping to pick out all these great ingredients, and they love having extra hands to help with the shopping bags to walk back to the ship. That's always a plus for the chefs, but they really do love to show you the best of the culinary of those places. So we won't get into all these details, but just so you know, there are multiple dining options on Windstar. There's no formal nights. For the main dining, the main restaurant, Amphora, no assigned seating, no set times for dinner, no charges for our specialty dining. Specialty dining is recommended to make reservations on board the yacht, but everyone gets a chance to dine there at least once. And all the meals and all the venues are always included, even your 24-hour room service. All your non-alcohol beverages and your mocktails are already included. We have so much there included. It's easier to tell you what's not included, right? So your shore excursions would not be included. With our all-inclusive fares, it would also include your alcohol, your beer, wine, and cocktails. There's a typo there. It says beer, wine, and 7 cocktails. That's supposed to be an and sign. You're going to get a choice of more than 7 cocktails. That's a typo. Sorry, guys. So beer, wine, and cocktails is included in our all-inclusive fare. Also unlimited Wi-Fi and gratuities. For those of you that maybe you're you for whatever reason you're not interested in the alcohol option, Shelby and her team can tell you about the cruise only fares that are also available. So she can help customize this experience for you. And doesn't that add value to using a travel professional? That Shelby and her team are going to help you make this perfect for you. But in most cases, most guests just go with the all-inclusive fare. It's a great value. It's very convenient. And also you'll save money because if you were going to do alcohol, Wi-Fi, and tips, you would be paying more if you did that all a la carte. So it's a great deal. And in countries where they have a VAT tax, which is in Europe, the VAT tax, if you're on our all-inclusive fare, you're not going to have to pay VAT tax on your cocktail purchases. So as I mentioned, we do anticipate our guest needs. We have about almost a 1-to-1 guest to crew ratio on all of our ships. So some people think our all-suite motor yachts are the perfect yacht. And some people think our beautiful sailing yachts are the perfect yacht. Think of our name Windstar Cruises. We're the Wind class yachts with the sails, and the Star class yachts, which are all suite motor yachts. They're 3 of each. They're classic yachts that have been beautifully renovated, and they're just award winning. So the Wind class yachts, absolutely phenomenal. We have the Windstar, which is the world's largest passenger sailing yacht. She holds just under 350 guests. Her 2 sister ships hold just 148 guests, the Spirit and the Star. These are really iconic. For some of you, I know this is a bucket list, just going on a Windstar yacht. So it is really truly great. So I know some of you are curious about what the accommodations look like on Windstar. Doesn't this look bright and cheerful and beautiful? It looks just like a boutique hotel. It's hard to believe that's a sailing yacht. Behind the curtain, you see it's hard to see from this picture, 2 big beautiful porthole windows reminiscent of the classic days of cruising. I love porthole windows. Very bright and cheerful. Lots of storage space. Good size good size closet. Lots of cubbies to put all your stuff. This is the Windstar and the Wind Spirit stateroom, where the first one was the Windsurf stateroom. And then there are also some other options, like the Windsurf has 18 suites that have 2 closets and 2 bathrooms. My boss calls that the marriage saver cabin. I wonder why. So doesn't that look awesome? Again, hard to believe we're talking about a yacht, right? Doesn't this rival some of the nicest boutique hotels in the world? I think so. Beautiful. And these are classic yachts, but they've all been renovated. So they really look quite contemporary, yet we kept some of the classic touches of yachting, like some of the brass furnishings and various things. So you still feel like you're on a ship, which I love. And for those of you that are real ship lovers and really like a nautical thing and you like something different that all your friends and neighbors haven't done, well, Windstar has a bridge suite on the Surf which is right behind the bridge. You have outdoor entry. There's a suite door right out on deck. It's really cool. And this is a extra large room with a hot tub jacuzzi and a living room, a great place to have a private party and entertain your new friends. And it really is, something to give you bragging rights on the windsurf. And then we also have the first of its kind. It's called the Officer Suite. And this is in the otherwise crew only section of the windsurf. Those doors that say restricted, no access. Well, guess what? If you're in the officer suite, that is where you are. It's prime real estate and bragging rights that you stayed in an officer suite. But sorry, guys, ladies and gents, you can't come home and brag too much, because your friends might think the officer came with. I had a lady say, "Oh my gosh, my friend stayed in an officer suite. Can you believe it?" I said, "Yeah, but the officer didn't come with," right? We don't want to start any rumors. So officer suite there's no officer involved, but you will meet the officers because they have their suites right near yours. So isn't this beautiful? I think so. When you get a suite on the windsurf, you get some extras. We don't have time to get into all the perks, but Shelby and her team can tell you more about that. There are some really nice perks like unlimited internet package if you're on the cruise only fare. You're also going to get some preferred seating in the specialty dining. You get personal attention from the hotel general manager. You get priority check-in, preferred check-in, and a chilled bottle of Prosecco upon arrival. That's my favorite perk. So it's just lovely. And all of the premium suites on our motor yachts come with these extra suite perks as well. So there are lounges on all 6 of our ships where we have entertainment. We don't have room for the Las Vegas style shows, but that's okay. We have more intimate entertainment, lectures and duos play great music, and there's dancing in the evening. A live band really does a great job getting everybody up there on the dance floor. And for you romantics out there, there's some slow dancing too, and some surprises too, like our pop-up disco party out on deck and our on-deck barbecue party. And I won't give away all the secrets, but you're going to have some surprise and delight moments. I definitely was surprised and delighted on my Iceland cruise last week. There were little things that they don't even tell the sales team about because they want us to be surprised. So your breakfast and lunch is usually in the veranda, and that becomes candles in the evening, which is our supper club. And a lot of folks do like to grab and go at veranda and sit out by the pool and relax and enjoy the views. And as I mentioned, as far as this 2 different styles of ships. In addition to the sailing yachts, we have our Star Plus class yachts. These are all suite luxury yachts. They hold 312 guests, and the minimum category suite is 277 square feet. Whereas on the Wind class yachts, the base fare is going to be about 188 square feet, still very spacious. But these are all suites, and they're newly transformed. We won't get into all this, but we just spent like $250 million updating the 3 all-suite yachts. We bought these ships less than 10 years ago. We put a lot of money into these 3 all-suite yachts, and there were certain things we knew that we would need to do at some point, like replace all of the bathrooms in all of the suites on the ship. So we did that. And while we did that, we said, hey, we might as well put in some new engines and 2 new restaurants and a new elevator and some new tenders and a new spa, a new fitness center. We actually stretched these 3 ships. We added like 84 feet right into the middle of the ship, which is pretty amazing. So these ships were stretched, they call it, and we added 50 brand new suites. So this is one of the existing suites, an ocean view suite, very bright and cheerful. You can see a nice living room there. There's a walk-in closet, extra large bathroom, and again, all the suites got new bathrooms. And then this is the brand new suites, which are the Star Ocean View suites. So you can see the difference. One has the bed by the window, which is inspired by the river boats, right, where you can lay in bed and watch the world go by. Or watch the ocean in this case. So you have a choice between an ocean view and a Star Ocean View. And then there's balcony suites in both categories. So there's Star balcony suites where the bed is by the French balcony, and then there's the regular balcony suites where the living room is by the French balcony. They're both beautiful. So, and then if you like something very unique, at the very front of the ship on deck 5, we have on all 3 of the all suite ships, we have the Broadmoor suite. Our owner of Windstar owns the Broadmoor Resort in Colorado. So this is to mimic what that looks like at the Broadmoor. Beautiful, really really beautiful. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. There we go. And then the Sea Island Suite was also on the forward deck 5, and that is to rival the Sea Island Resort, which is in coastal Georgia. If you're familiar, those are Xanterra properties. We just added 2 new owner suites on deck 6 on those 3 all-suite yachts. So if there's 3 couples that want to travel together, this is a 3-bedroom, 3.5-bath suite with a living room, a dining room, a balcony, and you'll each have your own key card. So you have your own entry, your own privacy, and then you can meet in the middle and have some parties and stuff. There's 2 of these, 2 3-bedroom, 3.5-bath suites on all 3 of those ships. We have a beautiful spa and fitness center. We don't have time to get into all these details because I want to tell you where we go, but I just want to give you a taste of what Windstar looks like, because I know some of you are curious about, what a large yacht would look like. If you're a foodie, you may be familiar with Casamono restaurant in New York City. It's like a multi-Michelin starred a restaurant, and we have a specialty restaurant on all 3 of the motor yachts that's run by Chef Sasso, who runs that restaurant, and it's no dining charges. 38-seat eclectic tapas restaurant. I have to say that carefully because my last presentation, someone said, "Did you say topless?" I said, "No, I didn't say topless. I said tapas in Spanish, small dishes." For those of you that like barbecue, Stephen Reichlin, he's a barbecue restaurateur who wrote the best-selling barbecue Bible, actually called Barbecue Bible. It's a cookbook, and he's a multi-James Beard award-winning chef who showcases world barbecue at our Star Grill that's open for lunches. And then I mentioned Candles is our supper club, very, very romantic place to have dinner in the evening. It's a very intimate travel experience on Windstar. And speaking of intimacy and romance, if you'd like to exchange your vows on board or just really celebrate romance, we do have some packages. Shelby and her team can tell you about that. So beautiful way to celebrate you as a couple, to either do a vow exchange or a renewal on board, officiated by the captain. So where do we go? Wow. Well, we go so many places. This is where we leave from, or this is where we go back to. Some trips are round trip and some are one way. And many of them can be combined back to form longer cruises. So Shelby and her team will be happy to tell you about that. We have 187 itineraries. I wish I could tell you about each and every one of them. Actually, I could probably only remember off the top of my head like 50 itineraries. I have to look at my cheat sheets. But these are some that are considered some of the most popular Windstar cruises, not to take away from all the others, but these are really cool. So Tahiti, Treasures of the Greek Isles, Adriatic Archipelagos and Greek Goddesses, around Iceland, which I just did last week, I mentioned. We go through the Corinth Canal in Greece. We do Italy, Dalmatian coast, Caribbean. Gosh, there's so many places we are, Australia, New Zealand, the Middle East. We're starting there this November doing Middle Eastern cruises. We're around Asia. Gosh, a lot of places. And if you'd like, if this is sounding good to you, keep in mind that most of our clientele are couples traveling with other couples. So we make it really easy to reward groups of couples. And, we give you discounts if you have enough couples, in your group. You get a special amenity as $100 per person shipboard credit if you do one of our groups. If you get enough people in your group, you can have a really, really nice private cocktail party. So there's some great perks to having a group. And what a fun way to see the world with friends and relatives in your group. We do allow children age 8 and above. So if you're a multi-generational family, that's great. We don't get a lot of kids on board, but families are welcome. But it is a very adult environment. So some kids might not, they might not be ready for a yacht vacation yet, but who knows? So Windstar knows the way to Greece, and that is one of probably our most popular itinerary would be the Greek Isles. Small Grecian ports, seeing more of the Greek Isles, doing it in private yacht style. And one of the itineraries I wanted to showcase right now is the Adriatic Archipelagos and Greek Goddesses. There's a really nice 9-day cruise, Venice to Athens on September 5th of 2024, going into Zadar and Hvar and Dubrovnik, into Kotor, which we stay overnight, into beautiful Corfu, Katakolan, Monvaza, which will have the water sports platform down so you could enjoy complimentary water sports, and of course Athens. Now Venice and Athens is considered a destination. There's so much to do and see there. We have a lot of popular highlights of things that you can do. There's beaches and UNESCO heritage sites, medieval alleyways where you can go shopping and check out some cool architecture, UNESCO heritage sites. There's a giant instrument made of the sea. Those steps you see on the picture, that is really cool. Not only are they steps leading down to the water, but as the water comes in, it actually is an organ instrument, and it makes this amazing sound that just resonates, and it's like something you've never experienced. You'll have goosebumps. There's so many little hidden gems around the Greek Isles and things that you might not have heard about in the tour books because we're going off the beaten path into places that are not really touristy. So there's a lot of different dates available on Windstar, and a couple different ships that do this particular itinerary. So I know that Shelby has her eye on a September 5th sailing, actually. Am I right? Let me see here. Adriatic. Let me see. Shelby, if you can help me out, was that
I would
September
say
5th?
the options that we saw that look good, if you guys wanted to do the windsurf, now this is the option for the not sailboat, but the power boat with sails. That would be the 8-night, September 5th, the Adriatic Archipelagus.
Let's just call it Adriatic Arches and Greek Goddesses. That works for me.
Thank you. That was one of the options, so you guys can kind of mull that over, and
Okay.
the other options were on the power yachts or the second boat that showed a ship.
Great. So, Shelby will follow up and she'll kind of survey you and see what you think as far as dates and itineraries. So I just want to give you an overview and let you know we have lots of dates available, but she's going to be putting together an awesome group. So if you want to travel with fun, like-minded people, make some new friends and have a great time, she'll let you know what date her group is looking at. In addition, there's the Treasures of the Greek Isles. This is an award-winning itinerary. I know she's looking at September 27th of 2024 for a group. There's alternate dates available for you if that one doesn't work out. This is going into Mykonos and Kusadasi, Patmos, beautiful Santorini, Mombasa, again, where we'll have that water sports platform lowered, Naplio, and round trip Athens, easy to get your airlift round trip, because you're going round trip Athens. Maybe come in a day or two early or stay a day or two late so you can experience Athens. A lot of history. There's at least 9 UNESCO sites in this region. We're going to have full days in the Greek Isles with evening departures in Santorini, Kusadasi, Patmos, Mykonos. If there's nightlife in town, in most cases, Windstar will stay late night or even overnight because that's part of that fun experience. Our clients are young at heart, they're fun, they're upbeat, they love going ashore and experiencing not only the best of the daytime activities, the water sports and the touring and sightseeing, but they want to be out there and have their pulse on the nightlife of the place. And a lot of times there's waterfront festivals and there's great little piano bars and interesting things to do and see along those waterfronts. So you'll enjoy that as well. There's a lot of tours and sightseeing, a lot of highlights there in Athens. So, again, stay later or come in early. And you'll enjoy our destination discovery event in Kusadasi, Turkey, when we're doing our evening in ancient Ephesus. So again, there's a lot of different dates available. Shelby's looking at September 27th for Treasures of the Greek Isles for 2024. And now let's look in a completely different direction. Windstar knows the way to Tahiti as well as the Greek Isles. Tahiti is also one of our most popular regions. There is no hurricane season. There's no winter. There's no monsoon season. They don't really have an off season. So we're there year round. And you can see on the right side of your screen, some really amazing places throughout South Pacific. We have the most 7-day Tahiti voyages than any cruise line, and we've been doing it over 35 years. So we now offer 7, 10, and 11-day cruises year round, weekly departures, and it's a beyond ordinary paradise. It is unlike any place you've ever visited, even Hawaii. It is just so beautiful and lush and authentic and not touristy, and just kind of a once in a lifetime for some people if they're actually lucky, because most people have never been there. In fact, many people don't even know where in the world it is. So it's in the South Pacific, about an 8-hour flight from Los Angeles, just a couple hours further than Hawaii. So not too bad, right? Definitely worth it. So your first day, you're going to stay overnight in Papeete on the yacht, unless you've come in the night before. And we do have a package that includes an overnight in Papeete, but the first night on the ship, we're there so you can explore. And then we're in Moorea. Our water sports platform will be down. You're in Raiatea overnight. You're in Moto Mahia, which is called Taha. an overnight in Bora Bora, and we'll have the water sports platform there open. And we have a beautiful evening under the stars on a little private island. So we have a complimentary upscale luau party for you, plus some other surprises. Hua Hin, we have the water sports platform, and then back into Papayete. So we're looking at Dreams of Tahiti. There's a 7-day round trip Papayete. I believe Shelby and her team are looking at July 17th of 2025 as a group. There are several alternate dates available, and just immersing yourself in Tahitian culture and going snorkeling. Maybe you want to try drift snorkeling among the coral gardens, swimming, sailing, kayaking from our water sports platform. Maybe you're going to snorkel down to select and harvest a black pearl. How gorgeous. They do have to do that in Raiatea. We're going to stay overnight in Bora Bora. If your dream is to stay in an overwater bungalow, well, we have that as an optional shore excursion add-on. It's very, very limited. So you really want to reach out to Shelby and her team early, because there's just a handful of those available. What an awesome experience, right? So lots of different sailing dates available for you to choose from, but I would personally recommend the July date that Shelby is looking at for the Dreams of Tahiti. It is an all-suite yacht, which means everyone gets a beautiful suite, either ocean view or a French balcony suite. Now, if you have some extra time to spare, you could do the 7-day itinerary, which was the Society Islands I just showed you. And then you do this really cool trek up to the Tuamotus, which is this beautiful remote cluster of islands, 11 days. July 31st of 2025, Shelby and her group are putting together an awesome group for this 11-day Tahiti and the Tuamotus. And that is where there's one of the only underwater UNESCO sites in the world is in the Tuamotus on an island called Fakarava, which sounds like a swear word, but I promise you it's not. Loosely translated, it means the ends of the earth. How cool is that? Windstar's taking you to the ends of the earth. Now, a little known fact on Rangiroa, which you see there on the screen, that is probably like the only winery in the South Pacific. So you could actually go and experience what's called coral wine, because they literally grow the grapevines and the grape the grapes are actually grown out of the sand and the coral right under the palm trees. And I heard it's delicious. So something to consider doing a little trip over to the winery there. So if you like what you hear and you want to make this really easy, then when you reach out to Shelby's team, ask about the all-inclusive cruise plus air plus hotel package for Tahiti, which you would have 7, 10, or 11 days. Right now, the Wind Spirit is there, which is a 148 passenger sailing ship. But then next year, and then in 25, we'll have the Star Breeze, 312 passenger all suite motor yacht. So really gorgeous. So you'd get round trip air on Air Tahiti Nui from Los Angeles. Shelby and her team will still fly you into LAX, maybe come a day or two early to explore Los Angeles. When you get to Papeete, you'll have an overnight stay at a beautiful resort. All your transfers will be included. You'll have breakfast at the resort, and then you'll have your transfer to the yacht. You'll have such an amazing trip, 7, 10, or 11 days. You could sail all inclusive to include your alcohol, Wi-Fi, and tips, or go cruise only if you prefer. And that add-on package for an overwater bungalow, which has limited availability, I highly recommend that. So I know I squeezed in a lot of stuff in a limited amount of time. And Shelby, I think I went over a few minutes.
You did great.
So I wondered if anyone has questions.
45 minutes, so you did great. That was perfect. Okay, so let's open it up. You can unmute yourself. I know it's always a little uncomfortable. If you want to raise your hand first, so I can just kind of call you out if you have any like burning questions. I'll still go over some prices, entry-level prices, and these are prices I literally just pulled like 15 minutes before we got in the call, because life is moving at the speed of light. So these prices are just what I pulled. I haven't pulled any group space because, again, I really wanted you guys to be a part of this process. I've worked for companies before where we just kind of tell you what you're going to do. I really, really want some buy-in here. You tell me what you want to do, and a majority rules type of thing. For the Greece surf, as far as the surf goes, that's the one with the sails. This is the only one with the sails that we have offered. If we wanted to do the September one, Athens to Venice, that's the first one. That was starting cruise only at approximately $3,951 per person. So for two, and again, it'll probably be a little bit more when we figure it all out, but it's around there, just to give you a number. The Legend, the Treasures of the Treasures of the Greek Island. That was the September 27th, Athens to Athens. I really like that one. That's on the motor yacht with all the suites. And by the way, I have seen that ship, and they're incredible. Like, I was pretty blown away because I've seen a lot of stuff, but you know, these all suite power yachts, like every single one is like a really amazing suite. It's beautiful. And the stretch thing, that's pretty cool too, and something to talk about later. But they literally cut the ship in half and opened it up and did it all over again. It was really neat. That one was starting at 5,461 per person. And again, that's just the cruise only fare. So we're just talking about the cruise. And then we talked about Tahiti. I honestly feel like I might have gotten this one wrong, but I checked 3 times. So the Breeze for July 17th, the 7-day one, was starting at 3,300 per person. And the Breeze, again, the motor yacht, for the 11 night was starting at 5,150 for July 31st. So those were like those starting prices. So really, really reasonable, you know, for the kind of experience you're having. Of course, you know, we get into what the airfare would be, and if you want to bundle it in for Papeete, which I think most of us would. They have really good airfare for Papeete. The Greek one, we would probably do independent air because they don't get any extra deals on that. But of course, our agents will help you with all that. And the pricing on the gratuities and all that, again, details we'll get into later. Let's just pick something. So what I'd like to do today is really just, I screenshotted what she said, and I'd like to open it up for questions, and I'm going to turn the recording off, but I just like to open it up to questions, and then I will put this into our Power Couples group, and you guys can, especially you who have attended, can give your honest opinion, and you'll sort of drive the bus on what we think we should be doing. And once again, I just want to remind you, if there's another date or another sailing or another thing, and you want to go with Windstar or any other company, please come to us first so that we can have that rapport with you and really make it easier on you and a little win-win. And we appreciate your business as well very, very much.